Hi everyone, my name is Nicole Slowey and I'm the Operations Director here at Kudos Contractor. On today's video, I'm going to be speaking to you about what contractors can expect from IR35 reform in 2021. As far as an update on where we are in the legislative process for IR35 reform, on the 22nd of July, the 2020 Finance Act was given royal assent. So that means that legislation is coming in April 2021 and organisations across the spectrum, including contractors, recruitment agencies and end client organisations, now have a further level of certainty in terms of planning and managing their preparations for the reform come April 2021. In terms of what contractors should expect from reform in 2021, the key things to kind of bring to the forefront are the fact that it's likely that your clients or your agencies will be undertaking a form of IR35 assessment on your circumstances. Now, depending upon the agency and the client that you engage with, that will ultimately drive the specific nature of the process that you're going to participate in, or potentially not. It may be that a client looks to utilise HMRC's CESS tool as a means of making determinations, and that might be a process that actually doesn't involve you. Or equally, your client or recruitment agency could engage with someone like Kudos to help support and facilitate that determination process, which you would participate in and actually make a contribution to. In addition to that, it's likely that your clients and your agencies are going to be on the front foot as far as communicating what their approach is going to be in terms of the specifics of the assessment process, the timelines around the exercises that you're going to be subject to or participate in, as well as what that particular organisation's position and strategy actually is, as far as if contractors are considered to be inside IR35, what does that actually look like? What are the options that are available for contractors in those positions? And equally, and unfortunately, there may be the types of scenarios where a client organisation looks to undertake a blanket ban position as far as no longer looking to engage PSCs beyond April 2021. In the lead up to April 2021, what contractors should be looking to do themselves to prepare is quite widespread. And it's really about considering your own position. So if you're going to be with a particular client in the lead up to and beyond April 2021, the types of things that you might want to do would be to undertake some due diligence of your own, get to grips and establish an understanding of your IR35 position based on how you see your working practices, as well as also get a view on the contractual terms that you have in place as well. There are lots of providers in the marketplace who can give you the relevant help and support around doing such types of reviews that will just give you a position of, okay, as far as this contract and these working practices as you, the contractor, sees them, the position would be considered to be either classified as inside IR35 or outside of IR35. And what that review does is it gives you the opportunity to have some pretty robust evidence to help support the conversations that you're going to be having with your clients and your agencies in due course. And it gives you a means by which to demonstrate that you take your own compliance seriously, and also evidence to use in any discussions you're going to have where perhaps the assessment that the client has you participate in actually differs from the assessment that you've undertaken independently yourself. Of course, it's important to remember that under the off-payroll reform legislation, it is your client's responsibility to undertake the determination and issue the SDS based on your circumstances. So it's not a guarantee that your client would accept any form of evidence or supplementary reviews that you've had done as part of any discussions that you're having with them. But it is a good basis to actually have a well-informed discussion with your clients and your agencies should that scenario arise. Thinking about the ways in which contractors can help themselves prepare, one of the things that I wanted to cover off a little bit in some detail is CESS, as far as is it worth contractors using it as a means to establish their own status. There has been a lot of controversy, as most people know, around CESS as a tool for determining IR35 status, most notably because it excludes key status tests, including mutuality of obligation. So it's not entirely reflective of case law. There's a couple of other things around the application and the tool itself that present some challenges around making sure that an appropriate determination is arrived at, notwithstanding the fact that it's all been made digitally. So it's not having the opportunity to look at some of the detail and the items that fall into the grey that's actually pretty pivotal when it comes to assessing IR35 status. I would say that from a contractor's perspective, it's a means of being able to become familiar with the aspects of status in terms of the types of questions and the nature of your service provision that is considered and has an impact on IR35 status. So I would say it's a good tool to use to familiarise yourself and give yourself a feel for status and how it's assessed, but I wouldn't entirely rely on it for concretely establishing your own status. HMRC are very quick to point out, whilst they will stand by the result of an assessment, that result and the input of the test, more importantly, is actually what HMRC will really hone in on in the event of an IR35 inquiry going forward under off payroll. So whilst the revenue gives organisations some form of reassurances around it, it does caveat that by saying that if it's found that answers have been engineered or not correctly a representation of the actual reality, then that would give HMRC the basis of grounds to challenge the determinations that the tool has actually output. So whilst it's not something that would give contractors a concrete means of determining the IR35 status, it's perhaps a good thing to have a play around with as part of your own education and getting yourselves up to speed on aspects of status that perhaps you're not yet familiar with. When should contractors prepare? I think it's important for contractors to start early. Like I said, organisations will be engaging agency to client, client to agency, probably from now in terms of picking back up on their IR35 projects, albeit they may not deliver those projects until Q1 of 2021. Those discussions and those action plans and those projects will certainly be being revisited right now. So I think that it's important for contractors to look at their position as far as their contract and where they are now. Are they still going to be at that client? Or if not, actually think, okay, what is my next step, and make sure that any contractual changes, new opportunities, that you're considering IR35 as part of that. So I think that advanced preparation for contractors is essential. I would certainly recommend having taken some form of steps of due diligence on your own circumstances by the end of 2020, if you intend to be within that same client organisation come implementation date of the reform in April. If you're not going to be with that particular client, like I said, as soon as you secure that new contract with a new client, again, it's important to establish the IR35 position of there. It's likely that any contract that you engage in, probably from round about September, October time, which sees contracts going beyond the April introductory date, it's likely your agency or your client might actually start talking to you about IR35 at that point, or you may find that you might not actually get a contract yet that would take you beyond that date. So that's something just to keep an eye out for as well. Kudos are preparing for reform in a number of different ways. One of the key areas of focus for us through preparation for public sector reform back in 2017, preparation for private sector reform for 2020, and now 2021, has been engaging with end client organisations and recruitment agencies. The idea behind us engaging with those organisations is that we have the opportunity now to work with the parties who are going to be responsible for administering the legislation going forward. Using our services, engaging with our tax consultancy team, as well as considering Kudos status review as a means for determining IR35 status, it gives contractors an element of reassurance that Kudos is seeking out to support those organisations who are going to be responsible for applying the determinations to the individual contractors that we already potentially work with or have serviced in the past. It's important for us as an organisation to ensure that contractors are given a fair opportunity to have their status considered, whilst also supporting the other organisations in the supply chain, ensuring that they're meeting their compliance obligations and that the way in which they're approaching adhering to their new compliance obligations fits in with that particular organisation's risk profile, it fits in with their operational plan, and works alongside what the business's goals and objectives are as far as continuing to access key resource from individual contractors that they have become accustomed to using so far. Thank you very much for listening today. If you would like to subscribe to our channel to receive all relevant updates as and when we post them, please subscribe below. You can also find our contact information in the box below if you would like to contact Kudos with any questions you may have around IR35 or are looking for some specific support services. Thanks again.